Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 do. Subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure. Hey, tomorrow they are going to announce the Oscar nominations, who will be nominated for Oscars in all the categories. So I believe that's tomorrow morning. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. My mind has been so scatterbrained. This has been like the least I've ever been able to follow awards season. It's just been wild busyness for me. I mean, some of that busyness was leisure, like vacation leisure, and I wanted to just kind of get away and disconnect, I guess. But yeah, it's been wild. So yeah, I hope I'm right about that tomorrow. Pretty sure I am, otherwise I wouldn't have done this. But what we're going to do today is a random ranking. But rather than go to my movie collection behind me, we're going to go to my Best Picture collection beside me. I have every single Best Picture winner, from Wings to Everything Everywhere All at Once over here, and I'll basically pick out 3 movies from that collection, and then we will rank those Best Picture winners based on whatever criteria bubbles up. I mean, I don't know. What will it be? I'm sure I'm going to try and lean it Oscar related, the criteria. But yeah, I figured since the nominations are popping up tomorrow, it'd be a good time to start ranking Oscar films. So let's do it. I'm going to pick right here. I got them in a big old tub. All right, that feels like a thick case, so I might know what that one is. What is this one? Oh, I think I just grabbed I think I just grabbed a slip cover and that was it. Whoops. Okay. Yep, I did. Awesome, awesome. Okay. And then what do we got here? Okay. Well, actually, I got to trade one of these out. I'll do it in a moment. I don't know. Do I want to do it now? How much time do you have? Let's see. Okay, we'll just I'll just do some explaining, I guess. So the first one is The French Connection with old Gene Hackman. He lives near me. Well, not anymore. He's actually from the town near me. It's really weird. There's this town beside me called Danville, Illinois. 2 huge mega names have come out of Danville, Illinois, and they're still alive. They are very old men, and one of them is Gene Hackman, and the other one is Dick Van Dyke and Jerry Van Dyke are from Danville, small Danville, Illinois, and these are iconic, huge juggernaut titans of legendary status, which is really cool. But yeah, The French Connection. I think I got a story for this one. So I recently picked up I got the Blu-ray that just came out. Also, I got that for Christmas from my in-laws. So, but I also have this wild version right here with sort of that hologram look to it, which is really cool. But yeah, my story with this one, what was it? Okay, I remember, so you know how in Batman Returns, when Penguin has taken over Batman's car, and like Batman's inside of it, but Penguin's like remote controlling it, right? And then he almost makes Batman hit what appears to be a woman pushing her like baby stroller. So it looks like Batman's about to run over a baby stroller in the Batmobile. But I remember seeing that as a kid, and it was like this iconic thing for me. And at that age, when that came out, I thought that was the first time that had ever been done, right? I thought it was invented there in that movie. But then I watch The French Connection years later, and I see that same thing happen in The French Connection. It's like a car chase sort of thing, and then we see a baby stroller in front of one of the cars, and we're all worried. And well, it's kind of funny because now I'm saying I see it here, but okay, I'm going to continue with the story. And then we see it here, and then I was like, oh, that's where Batman got that from. And they got it from this movie. So I was like, this is the movie that invented that. And then a few years later, I'm watching Battleship Potemkin. And then I see this stroller among like war and battle or whatever, and like on these stairs and stuff. And then it's like happening there, and it's like, oh, that's where that was invented. And then it's just like, oh, okay, this is just a trope that has existed forever, and it's about the, violence of like man of adulthood of evil, um, juxtaposed against complete innocence of a baby, of a child, right? But I'm thinking that that was invented in Batman Returns, and then I'm like, oh no, it was invented here, and then I see it in Battleship, and it's like, oh okay, no, it was invented there. So I don't know. It's just kind of funny how the more history you learn, the more movies you watch, the more you realize anything that you think is new and inventive, it's been done before, and it was done in the silent era. Okay, so next we have the slipcover of My Fair Lady. So this movie, I like the beginning portion, and then I kind of lose interest towards the end. But when she's talking Cockney and all of that, and this dude over here is just like, your accent, I'll tell you where you're from, and I know where you're from. I can tell just by this little thing that you said that you're this type of person. Like that part, I think is so fun, and I just wish that was the whole movie of somebody just walking around saying, "You're from this place. You're from this place. You're from this place," and I can tell by the way that you talk. Like that's my favorite stuff. But also the art direction is really good in this. I like a lot of the visuals, the costumes, all of that. So that's sort of, I guess, what you kind of have to get into like later in the movie, or at least for me. But it's like I'm interested in the story and everything, and then sort of when she's all proper, then I'm less interested in the story, and then I become more interested, I guess, in the visuals, which is fine. That's good. I like a lot of movies only because of the visuals, so that's not a bad thing. But yeah, My Fair Lady. Next we have, so this is the one that needs a little bit of explaining because I have all three Lord of the Rings films in this case, sort of to keep them together. I have Lord of the Rings on, I think, three different ways. I have them here on DVD as the theatrical, and then I have the extendeds over here, and then I also have the Blu-rays back there. But I keep, for my Oscar collection, just the theatrical DVD because, well, it's the theatrical film that won. But also, what we have here is Fellowship of the Ring. Obviously, it was Return of the King that won. So, yeah, that's over here. I could dig for it, but I don't want to waste time, and I don't want to edit a lot tonight. So, we're just going to take a look at this. But for the picture, the thumbnail, hopefully I will have found what I'm looking for. But yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, Return of the King is still one of the greatest cinematic achievements ever done in Hollywood when it comes to live action practical effects and CGI. All of that blended together so well. It's easier to spot some of the imperfections today, but it still holds up so well for me. And a lot of the stuff that comes out today just doesn't look as good also, so there's that too. It still all seems very strong. The story is obviously very strong as well, so when you have that as the main driver of the film, and it's not just effects based or visually based, you have the story also, then you're still winning, right? So it's just it's a good matchup of great story, great characters, great visuals, great effects, all of that coming together. And I think that's why it's so impressive, and that's why it walked away with so many awards, because it was this great amalgamation of all of the different crafts coming together so perfectly and wonderfully. In a huge epic manner, and it was just cool to see sci-fi, to see fantasy represented at the Oscars, and to win the big show, right? That's awesome. So how are we going to rank these? All right, so this is actually, I think this is pretty easy for me. So actually, I don't know. For number one is easy. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King is going to be number one. But then after that, do I want to go the visuals? And I do have a fun time with the beginning portion of this movie, and I really like the visuals. So do I want to reward it for that, or do I want to reward the grittiness, anti-hero stuff that's going on in The French Connection. I think that might be what I want to do. I think I might want to go the grittiness of The French Connection. Uh, Poughkeepsie, what's he's always talking about? Pickin' in Poughkeepsie or something. And then they made a sequel to this. They made a sequel. Did anybody see the sequel? I don't think anybody did. I don't like when that stuff happens. When you have a Best Picture winner, unless it's like a book that has sequels, I guess then it makes sense. It's adapted from a book that has sequels, then it makes sense to make sequels. And maybe there was a French Connection book sequel. I don't even know if the French Connection was a book or not. But I'm just saying, if you have a Best Picture winner and it's great, it's perfect, it's wonderful, we all like it, don't make a sequel. Keep it a standalone great film on its own by itself. I don't think we need all those sequels. I like the standalones. Okay, but I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Even though it says Fellowship, I'm talking about Return of the King. And you know, I don't mind all the endings in Return of the King. It doesn't bother me none. The only thing I might not like about it, which doesn't make Return of the King my favorite, is the Ghost Army. Like, they plow through a little too easily. I wish that maybe there was more struggle, and the fact that, you know, they don't use them all the way through. I mean, I know they kind of talk about that in the movie, but still, I don't know. That part, that's the only one that I'm kind of like, I don't know. This one though, Fellowship, I do think is my favorite and flawless. Have nothing bad to say about it. But I'm talking about Return of the King, and Return of the King still number one. And then I'm gonna go the grittiness anti-hero film, The French Connection, and then My Fair Lady. The visuals, and I really like the beginning of that movie. So yeah, that's my ranking right here. But my question to you is, have you seen these movies? These three right here? And if so, what do you think of them? And if you've seen all three, how would you rank them? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below, and perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.